What was the single worst thing you've ever seen another player do? I'm talking like in-game burning children, but someone throwing tantrum miniatures off the table or otherwise damaging them. Throw a tantrum or spurg out to such an extent that they have to be thrown out.
Okay, I'll tell you my one. Right, I think this one was like everyone was like, "No, James, you can't do that. That's very horrible. That's very mean." And I didn't do it, but I just thought I might have to. So, this was in the Spelljammer game. We were off flying about. We stopped off at a planet, and we brought the big aircraft carrier with us. And Jonathan decided, you know what, the Lich needs that aircraft carrier, so he decided to just take it off us and leave us with a wee small ship. And I thought, well, this planet, obviously the Lich must be upset with us. He clearly needs souls. So, Gobby, the businessman that he is, decided, right, I'm just going to buy up the orphanage.
Oh no.
They said, no, you can't do that to orphans. But I said, no one cares about orphans, that's why they're orphans. We didn't go through with it, but...
It was an option.
It was an option, just saying. But yeah, let's get into this, will we?
Player joins group several years ago. Seems okay. One day another player wouldn't lend him a dice. He flips out and throws his dice across the room. He gets kicked out. 6 months later, he's allowed to come back. Gets into a fight about something in-game. Someone didn't heal him and his character died. He kicks in a cabinet and breaks the wood.
What is wrong with people like this?
Like IRL?
Must be.
He gets banned for 2 years. Comes back again about 2 years later. At least he's persistent. Plays for a bit. He gets played for 6 to 10 month stretches of a time. One day we're having a climactic city attack. I hand-made a special miniature for the giant golem the enemy is using as a centerpiece for their army. Set up the whole battle. We left off on a cliffhanger last time. The character riding his griffin up to see why the horns were blowing and the enemy army attacking. First round of combat begins. This guy moves into melee. Rolls 2 natural 2s in a row. Misses both swings. Another player makes a joke about it. Rage guy explodes and calls him a fucking cunt. Throws his dice at him. They scatter some of the minis on the field. Storms over to the door. Opens the door, screams "fuck you," then slams it 3 times really hard. Why? What? So he's standing at the door going bang, bang, bang.
Something like that, I imagine.
A picture falls from the wall and the glass frame shatters. Rage guy punches wall about 50 times, storms out. Comes back an hour later. We finish the battle.
Hi.
Takes about 6 hours. Player also made fun of my miniature.
Yeah, see, he would.
Why do you bring him back?
Why, like, honestly...
If you're getting on like a child, you're not allowed to play at the adult table.
That is the definition of man-child, though.
Yeah.
This is a problem I've got when it comes to, like, you know...
Children don't even act like that.
Control your fucking anger.
Yeah.
You know, not being able to control your emotions. I know it can be difficult controlling your emotions sometimes.
Yeah.
But... acting like that,
it's like a 2-year-old toddler.
That's
at least they actually don't know how to control their emotions.
Yeah, they're too young. They can't understand it. But when you're, I'm going to assume
at least
minimum he's 16.
Yeah, minimum 16.
And getting on like that when you're 16 is cringe.
Yeah,
it's hyper cringe.
Why would they bring him back? I don't get that. Next post.
Yeah, let's keep going.
GM also hosts game in his apartment. One day, several people need to use the bathroom at around the same time. The apartment only has 1 bathroom, so one player decides instead to just go over to the balcony, drop his pants and piss over the side into the parking lot below. GM is understandably upset because this could get him into trouble with the landlord, as well as, holy fuck, did you just piss onto someone's car? That guy fails to see what the problem is, and then after a few minutes of arguing, starts shouting back that he doesn't need this shit. Escalates into a full-blown temper tantrum and a bookshelf knocked over before the rest of us basically throw him out of the flat. What in the fuck?
Well, this video's off to an interesting start.
Jesus Christ.
Genuine man-children. I don't know how...
Somebody asked, what the fuck, how old was that guy? And the guy replies to him, never asked his age, but I guess early to mid-20s from his look. So this is a grown-ass man.
Okay, were yous on the drink? Was everyone shit-faced? Was everyone steaming?
Even then,
where you? Like,
I'm not going to piss over somebody's balcony.
Yeah, especially whenever this. But what do you do if people are fucking down below? Down
below, like out having a nice, like candlelit romantic dinner. Next minute, piss just starts streaming.
All right, R. Kelly, calm you down there. Right, let's just keep going. I hope these are pretty rough compared to the norm.
Hambase getting its rage on after finding out one of the dudes in the group was a conservative, proceeding to key his car, block everyone on Facebook, and trying to get the group blocked from using school locals for club activities.
What is going on?
What in the fuck?
Look, this is why I can always say, it's like, look, guys.
Oh, I'm sorry. Please, somebody touches my car.
Please keep your fucking politics away. Don't bother getting into them.
Yeah.
But, like, you know,
it's gotta be getting beat.
Yeah, she would end up getting beat for that.
Or she, sorry. Yeah, no, she'd end up getting trailed up and down the car park if I found her came a car.
Yeah. Who does this? Who actually thinks this is... Like, I really have a thing. See, when it comes to all these types of stories, and it comes with people, like, damaging your books, damaging
your
whatever,
property,
keying your car... Honestly, it's pure scumbag behaviour.
It is scumbag
and I have no sympathy for people that behave in such manners.
Yeah, same.
Normally, whenever it comes to people, like, you know, in these stories, when they kind of act in cringe, when they kind of, you know, I kind of feel like a bit of sympathy for them. I can kind of empathise, like, well, maybe they're just not very good at the whole social dynamic. Yeah. This is just a pure scumbag.
Yeah, 100%.
No good demon qualities in the slightest.
I had a guy literally fucking roar in pain and rage when he rolled a 1 in D&D. It wasn't even a clutch situation. He only rolled a 1 twice before in that night. Like, he stood up, inhaled, and bellowed until he couldn't anymore and was red in the face.
I mean, like, okay, it's okay to say, oh,
that reminds me of the guy that used to wag. And
yeah, but that was funny though when he was doing it for a reason. Okay, it was kind of cringe, but
it was kind of cringe.
It was.
One minute you'd be playing, and then next minute.
Okay, so turn 2, he was playing orcs. You get a wah, and then he goes.
No, but you know what the worst thing was?
Yeah.
He was playing my orcs. He was teaching me how to play.
Oh yeah,
orcs.
yeah, that was it. Yeah.
And he was like standing beside me, teaching me how to play. Well, he wasn't really teaching me. He took over the fucking game. And the next minute, he let out a wag. But I mean, he done exactly this. Like, he stopped and healed, and then like, and everybody in the gaming center just stood up and like just looked at him.
I remember Glenn was like, "Yo, you alright?
You alright, mate?
You alright?" It's like, oh yeah, just got turn 2, mate. Turn 2. It's like I enjoyed him. I
think I sunk down into that chair so hard.
Like, honestly, no, I'm particularly fond of the fella though.
Oh, he's a nice guy.
He really means well what he is.
No, he's a nice guy,
but
like, it was cringe.
I know it was cringe. But yeah, when it comes to like screaming and shouting over Golden
No need.
I mean, I can
like to let out like a.
I can go like, you know, something like that. But there's no need to
get on like that.
Yeah, that's a bit.
No.
Be like, fuck.
Yeah.
You know, you can be like, ah. You know what I mean? But yeah, that's a.
Yeah. I had to deal with my neighbours the next morning asking me to keep quiet and everything. It was so bizarre and I didn't know what to do. We all just ignored it and kept playing like the Sparks we were. Us!
Yeah.
And now, the models of our website, brought to you by neckbeardia.co.uk. Get y'all some of these titties.
Dwarf titties, orc titties, cat titties, fat titties, the gases and wastes a bit. Vampires and goblins and all the buff champions and even hentai, yeah that too. Dragons, manticores, ogres and gnomes and bugbearers and even more to go still. Undead and demons and then our friend Pally and definitely not 40k. Wood elves, dark elves and lizards and Megan the Slither and James the look cool as he stands. Beholders and kobolds and tyrants and only in a donkey with a frying pan. If you don't want no models, then no need to bother. We now have subclasses and teas. Also, Guardbros Book, go have a look. Check out the link to Ko-fi. Thank you for watching our videos and giving our channel a hand. But this is the end, our viewers and friends, so let's get back to the video, man.
I fucking hate myself. The one and only time I ever played at a game store, there was this girl with palsy, I'm gonna guess cerebral palsy. Her body shook really badly and she had to use a wheelchair. Anyways, every time she had to roll, it was a pretty big ordeal for her, and she always winded up chucking the dice way too hard. This typical gaming store denizen eventually just snapped and told her to fuck off because she kept knocking the miniatures around. What a dick. And the store owner ran over and put the guy in a headlock and dragged him out while the girl bawled her eyes out. What a dickhead. At least the store owner came in, like, don't fucking get on like that.
Like, there's two ways you can look at this, the way I think it. Like, it's not nice to have models being, like, you know, hit or whatever. I would say for her, get the dice tray.
Get a dice tray for her.
Get a dice tray
for her.
But, you know, the thing is, rolling dice is a lot of fucking fun, guys. I don't care. Them clinky cracky locks, I really enjoy it.
And personally, I think that like tabletop games, especially D&D, not so much Warhammer, but D&D, you know, you don't need to, it's not like a physical activity, so people with disabilities can play.
Yeah, it's a lot more opening for that.
Why be a dick?
Yeah, that's just
get her a dice tray, or just a lid of a box.
just get her something like that.
Yeah,
it'll be easier for her to do it.
Yeah,
and
there's other ways of going around it instead of being a dick.
Yeah. Surely someone will have a fucking dice tray in this place.
I know.
It's like, here, do you want to use this?
Yeah. What a dick.
Yeah, so normally we don't really do these sorts of like petty back and forths. But this one's actually so fucking hilarious.
This guy's like actually really aggressive over that girl with a disability, but the replies
I think they're comic gold. So like, we don't normally do this, but let's just do this.
For who he thinks he is, it's great. It's great. So he says, explain why I'm obligated to tolerate some dumb bitch who needs to stick her disability in everyone's face.
She got like can't fucking do anything about it. She's in a fucking wheelchair. Oh my god, can you please get out of my face? It's like
she cannot help it. It's not my fault she's crippled. Face it, if it had been a man...
It's not her fault either.
I know. Face it, if she had been a man, the over-aggressive little white knight in OP's comment would not have put the guy in a headlock.
Yes, I think he would have.
Yeah.
I think he still would have.
By the way, in my state, if someone tried that shit, I could kill them with my 380. And there'd be no consequences because we'd have self-defense laws. Fucking white knight faggots. I swear to God. I hope that store owner gets cancer.
No, this is where it
gets funny. We aren't obligated to tolerate your disability either. Yet here we are.
Oh, it's comic gold. It gets better though. It gets better.
Yeah, except I'm a functioning human being. And
Doubt.
And I don't fuck up at the game table. So sick of my ADHD, my anxiety, my depression. But this is a whole new level. You cannot run a D&D game and expect everyone to be okay with a heavily disabled girl fucking up the game. It's not their fault she's disabled. It's not her fault either.
Honestly, I hope this is just high quality beat.
I hope so.
I hope this is just high quality beat.
So sick of this stupid pity parade. Just stop. This guy could have been less of a spurg, but that faggot who attacked him should be 6 feet under right now. And if I ever find out what game store he works at, I'll leave so many shitty Yelp reviews it will close within the year.
What the fuck is this?
It's so good.
He sounds sweet.
I feel like I'm reading like a really shitty fan fiction fight.
Yeah, this is exactly what it is. Yeah.
We find the Max Pride machine, both capable of complaining on Yelp and pretending he's ascended beyond social acceptance because of his firearm, his haircut, as shown, his means of transportation, 4-door SUV pickup, his modus operandi, asking for the manager of his local Cabela's. He has over 300 requests for managers there alone. He has sent back every meal served to him at least once, even when it's his mother's. He is basic bitch prime.
Honestly, I just can't, like, you know, honestly, you see boys that get on like that, like, you know, like, there's really nothing anyone can do whenever they're, like, got cerebral palsy. Yeah. You know, they're in a wheelchair. There really is not much they can do.
I was a carer, used to work with people with disabilities like that.
Yeah.
They literally can, and some of them are the most funniest people I've ever met in my life. And they are so nice.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get when people, you know, make a difference for them.
Yeah. You know, what this kind of reminds me of is, I remember, like, there was a big stink up about the whole combat wheelchair thing. Personally, I do think the whole combat wheelchair thing is kind of cringe.
Yeah.
But I do think you can still use it with, like, wizards and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But I just don't really buy into the idea of, like...
You can't, I don't think you you can't really use a fighter or a melee.
No, you can't be a marshal. You can't be a rogue. Like, sneaking about in a wheelchair is not really possible.
Yeah.
But, like, you know, at the same time, it's just because I think the combat wheelchair is cringe does not mean I think people that are in wheelchairs are fucking cringe.
Yeah,
and I think this is where a lot of people get kind of, like, blindsided to it all.
But I couldn't walk past this argument. I was reading it. I was like, no, we need to record this. A guy kept bringing or trying to bring his latest squeezes, often met the same day or week, to the table despite being explicitly told otherwise. And I don't mean told otherwise as in a general rule. No, the typical conversation would go like this. Hang on, we're late, but we'll be there in a bit. Who's we? Me and random girl I met yesterday. No, we're not going to spend 2 hours to teach how to play and make a character for a random girl who probably has no interest in the game anyway, and will never see again. Nor I want to have a guest just to ask her to sit somewhere for a whole session without participating or having anything to do. Don't bring her. Okay. And then I find him and the random chick at the back door. Said random chicks were invariably kind of thick or kind of intoxicated and obviously not interested in the game. Bless them.
What is this? Did he just like, oh yeah, look, you know, I really could go out on a date with you, but my game's tomorrow night, you see.
Why did he always like arrange to meet up on game night? Don't do that.
Just pick a different night, man.
Just pick a The first time he pulled this stunt, I was too soft and opted to cancel the session and instead play board games to let her participate. Still, she either didn't care or couldn't understand, even the most casual board games. At this point, I might sound like a misogynist, but no, really. This dude only managed to date the dumbest or shallowest girls around. The second time, I informed him during the phone call that if he brought some random girl, we wouldn't change plans and she wouldn't get to participate, and it would be on him. He brought her anyway, and I stayed true to my proposition. After explaining to her the situation, third time he tried to pull this off, and we basically kicked him. Like,
look, I can see this happening once. I can't see this happening once. I personally wouldn't, but I can see this happening like maybe once.
Why?
So why? Like, man, they're already drunk. What are you doing?
I know.
Just go down to, like, you know, go out, have a wee drink, or go down to your house or whatever. You don't need to drag them on down to your mate's house to say, look, I know I said we were going to go out, but
I actually have a game of D&D, so
you know, I'm sorry to say, but like, we're really far into this campaign. I'm actually at the end point, and I really don't want to miss this session. So, do you want to just like come? Yeah. I don't know how the fuck you managed to convince 3 girls to actually come around. That's more impressive than anything. Managed to convince 3 random girls. Like, yeah, I know, I said I was going to go on a date, but just come on around to me. Hey, sure, we're having a wee game. Do you want to?
Fuck's sake. Let me tell you the story of Atlanta XWing community. How my life got flipped, turned upside down.
Look, guys, before you ask, there's no more Flash Prince. The guy hasn't written anymore. Before you ask in the comments.
Yeah.
There is a tiny amount that we haven't done a video on, but it's only like 5 minutes worth of audio, so
it's literally not worth it putting a video out for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
There's a player that thinks he's hot shit. His name is Sam. Sam net lists like a motherfucker. He's an elitist shit too.
I mean, I think you could say that for 40k. I've met a lot of 40k players that match that description very nicely. The
group he hangs with call themselves the Atlanta Hawks.
I'm gonna say.
The ringleaders are Sam, Nick, and James.
Hey, hold up there. I got nothing to do with this, right?
They embody the only winning is fun, so win at all costs attitude. The idea of fly casual is unknown to them. But back to Sam. When Sam's dice don't go his way, or the other person's dice are hot, Sam throws things. He throws his miniatures, he throws his dice. I personally was almost hit in the eye by one of his temper tantrum dice. Only my glasses saved me. The Atlanta community for XWing is increasingly toxic. Even if you aren't part of their elite team, you're looked down upon. If you dare use a ship or upgrade that's considered suboptimal, you're ridiculed. Even the newer members of the clique like Alan are like that. He really got on my nerves, as he hasn't even gotten at top 8 at regionals, whereas I have, but apparently I'm trash because I use a ship he thought was garbage. I wasn't even playing him, and he was talking down to me like I was a noob moron, despite it being a casual game on a casual game night. But Sam is the worst of the bunch. Fuck Sam, Nick, James, Matt, and Alan.
You know, I can't.
These boys getting called out, Neckbeardia.
Yeah, you know, like, I do feel this is kind of why I do prefer role-playing games again. I am a casual player.
Yeah, but I also think like the Star Wars game community can be toxic.
Oh yeah.
Because Star Wars community in general can be quite toxic.
Can be over the top. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, they go to bully a fucking child.
Yes, they did.
Into quitting acting.
Yes, they did.
Okay, yeah, like, you know, it was a different time back then. I don't really want to talk about Star Wars because that's an entire video on its own. Because modern Star Wars is. I'm not even talk about it. But yeah, like that. I think this comes with a lot of like wargaming in general, and I do think it's hyper competitive because if you look at even like, you know, I haven't been keeping up with the meta at all, but I know, like, because I'm a Dark Eldar player, I know that the Dark Eldar Codex at this moment in time is apparently amazing, and Dark Eldar
time in fucking
ever
forever.
they've like, honestly, they were like mediocre in 3rd edition, and we had the same Codex up until like 5th, and then was it from like 5th to 7th, you know, and all them codexes have kind of been kind of trash compared to Eldercraft World, that is. And yeah, of course, people would be like, why are you playing them? They're trash. You know, why do you not play the good army instead?
Hold on to hope.
It's like, because I really like the army, I love the look of the models, I love the lore, and I think I really like the gameplay, even though, and the thing is, because I was the only person to really play Dark Eldar, I could actually beat a lot of Space Marine players because I'm so used to playing against Space Marines and stuff. I could actually have somewhat of an...
know what they're going to do.
Yeah, exactly. And because not many people did play Dark Eldar, a lot of people don't know what you've actually got and how you play. So that's where, like, you know, yeah, okay, I'm playing something suboptimal, but I really enjoy them. And, like, yeah, okay, I did go on quite a few witch cults and stuff, and witch cults are genuinely, in 7th edition, possibly the worst units in the game, if I'd be completely honest with you. They don't hit hard, they have no armor, they're a melee unit. They get to go, they've got pretty good initiative, that's it. That's the only thing they had. But yeah, that's just what you kind of get when it comes to, like, especially tournament environments. Yeah, people are kind of trash in tournament environments, if I'd be completely honest. I'm a casual player.
You can tell the difference between a casual player and a tournament player because...
they show up with no fucking pieces models.
Yes.
And it's just like half put together. Did I ever tell you guys about the time it was at a tournament? It was actually the first one I ever went to. And the guy didn't have to... You
went to a tournament?
Yeah, I went to... It was only down in the... thingy. It was only it wasn't like a tournament. It was just the game store was holding them.
Right.
And the first time I went down for one of these sorts of tournaments, the guy, he was playing, I can't remember, he was playing something from a Space Marine chapter. He didn't have any drop pods, so he brought a 6-pack of Coke.
Yes.
I think I've told this
You've
story
told
before.
This story.
And the worst thing was, halfway through the game, he started picking them up and fucking drinking them. And then he had to...
Is that who I think it is?
No, it's not. But they had to be... One of the guys got in the store, had to come out and be like... Because they had to settle the argument because it's like he keeps moving his drop pod.
Yeah, so he could be moving it like a couple of inches or a couple of centimetres.
And then it was your man just turned around, it's like, are you actually using them as drop pods? But he said it that loud that everyone kind of just turned around because no one really noticed at the time.
Yeah.
I thought it was really funny, but like that's where I think we're going to end it. This video was a bit different. Well, it wasn't a bit different. Honestly, Children I find vile. The idea of damaging other people's property because you can't control your emotions
scumbag
is
behavior.
Absolute ridiculous. The idea that you would damage
by death.
The idea that you would damage other people's property because they have a different political view that, like, come on,
or they're doing better in a game than you.
Again,
you know,
really trash behavior. Getting really upset over the internet about a girl that actually has a physical ability that can't really throw dice very well. Getting that upset over that, I really hope that's bait.
It's kind of pathetic.
It is really pathetic, if I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Getting on like that and acting like that. You guys are better than that. So, what we have is, we announced this last video, we have a looking for group Discord. Everything's self-automated.
Yep.
There is no moderators. Everything is done completely by bots. Everything wipes itself on a weekly basis. There is no swearing because I can't trust people to come in and just start spamming the gamer word. No games run from this server either. If you
find a game,
you join their server.
Join the server, DM them, get something set up.
It's a place for networking and a place to communicate.
Whenever you join it, make sure you assign yourself a role.
Yeah.
There's either DM or player role. Just make sure you assign yourself a role.
The big thing is, of course, because no one's vetted on this, everyone, if you are, for all you could be playing with someone who's never DM'd a game before, and they're like, oh yeah, don't and it turns out to be a tween lag. There's no vetting process, that's all I'm saying. But
it's a community to be able to find a game.
Somewhat like-minded players.
Pass the time.
That would also agree. I like to think, all you guys, I'm pretty positive, would all agree. The people in this video in particular are kind of pathetic, to put it nicely.
And also, if you're in a game and you're playing a game from our server, and it turns into a horror story, please message us.
Oh yeah, please. I would love to hear that story if you're interested.
And no, the server isn't just made for bait to get horror stories.
No, it's because forever we see comments, people saying I really love listening to stories about tabletop games. I really would love to be able to play them. But I don't know where, and there's no game stores nearby. I don't know how to play online exactly. I don't know how to find games. So this is a place for just
what
people.
I like.
And also people are finding games, and also it's a great place to play games that aren't just 5th edition, because I know...
we have D&D, Pathfinder, Call of Cthulhu, Blades and Dark, Warhammer Fantasy,
GURPS from the Game of the
Deadlands, Cyberpunk, Star Wars, Legend of the Five Rings, Vampire Masquerade, Dark Heresy. And there's a lot of people as well who are going into them and saying, look, I've never played. I'm really interested. Yeah. If there's anybody willing to DM or play, please help. And people are finding games from it. So.
Well, I know one guy joined the server, and he's my RDM for the Game of the Frost Mead. He's starting a game in this other server that he's been wanting to play for ages.
Yeah.
But try it out if it's
something you're interested in. Go and have a look.
I want to do something like this for more of a community aspect to try and help people get there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Try and get people together. You know, would that be fair to say?
And also, while you're having a look at that, check out the website, check out the models, the subclasses, t-shirts, all that good shit. Hit subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!